Okay, we are live. Hey, hey, Chicago sports. Are we in June?
Are we Chicago sports or are we Sports Chicago?
We've said this multiple times.
I know. What are we?
It's hey, hey, Chicago sports. I mean, it's not, hey, we don't even have business cards yet, so.
And, and guys, look us up.
Yeah, follow us on Facebook. Follow us on,
Yeah, because our last broadcast, maybe it's the topic, okay? Maybe like the Bears talk more than the Cubs talk or whatever, and maybe that's why.
Well, we got a lot more traction during football season.
We did get a lot more traction during football season.
So I think more people like to hear about, football and high school football, college football, the NFL.
Yeah, this, what is it, the Ted Cruz Protect College Athletes.
You just mentioned it. You just mentioned a politician, and you just mentioned a thing.
We'll get, if we want to talk about that a little bit later, we can.
Well, I mean, you had a big filibuster about it today.
Well,
I don't see why you don't want to.
Okay, well, real quick, Ted Cruz is trying to pass something in government. It's called the Protect the College Sport Athlete, and he's got like a four-phase thing, and it's not crazy. It's about limiting the transfer rule and limiting how many extra people, boosters for NIL money, and coaches can't leave during the season or announce they're leaving.
That's the Lane Kiffin.
Yeah, the Lane. They actually call it the Lane Kiffin rule. So that's out there, and because this is all based on this Sorsby character.
Brendan Sorsby, who's the quarterback at Texas Tech, who, in my opinion, I don't think should be playing.
And before we get into Cubs real quick, Brendan Sorsby, and because I've talked to some people, the supplemental NFL draft it's always been there, but it's going to be used this time around. And if you don't know what the supplemental draft is individuals who have ran out of eligibility due to some type of, what's the word I'm going to say,
misaction, misuse. They broke some
erroneous.
They broke some type of arbitrary rule.
Yes, that they're banned no more from playing. It's not because they're done with eligibility; they're done. So
they're all different. However, one, Brendan Sorsby, is no different to me than insider trading, or
So
telling company secrets he shouldn't be doing.
So the supplemental draft is, and a couple of guys on ESPN. And I was amazed because all the talk on on ESPN has been about the Knicks and the wide receiver for Dallas, the Pickens guy. All they've been doing is talking filibustering about that. But they segue into this Sorsby thing and supplemental draft. So there's going to be a supplemental draft at the end of the month, and all the NFL teams. It's like a silent auction. They're going to write down, like literally on a piece of paper like us, or electronically or however, and they're going to submit what draft capital they have. And they're going to say silently if they have like a second round pick. I'm going to say I'm going to use the Bears as an example, but it's not. The Bears ain't going to do this. But if the Bears had a second round draft pick that they wanted to give up, they would write down second round draft pick, submit it to the NFL, and if that's the highest ranking draft pick, then the Chicago Bears
would obtain.
Great word.
Would obtain what would possibly
the rights to Sorsby.
Well, and you know what? People, let me say this, and I know, gambling is legal, and there's casinos everywhere, and you can do NFL, not even NFL. You can place a bet on almost everything now. You can place bets on pretty much everything, in any way, shape, and form. However, do you think it's a wise decision where it's going to be a quarterback?
The guy who touches the ball on every play.
He's been he left 3 different colleges. He's being sued by Cincinnati Bearcats.
Is he?
Well, I mean, I heard he was.
Oh, he's no longer suing the NCAA because he's involved in a supplemental.
Well,
he had a lawsuit against the NCAA, but he's rescinded that.
No, that's not what I heard. I heard the Bearcats were suing him.
Correct. Correct, and he also had he was suing the NCAA. He dropped that, so the Bearcats could still be suing him.
So you have a guy who has been in 3 different colleges. All he's really and let's say if
But they claim he's never.
Well, of course, never gone to class?
No, he's never probably not that, but he's never made a bet while he was.
I don't believe that.
I don't believe that. Neither.
I don't believe that
But
because really, and I've before we have these conversations. We have like the same conversation that we have before we go on air, and really and truly, the one thing that needs to be mentioned, and I'm not an angel, you're not either. However, in a basically a profession, if you're playing sports at a high level in Division I, that's basically your job. In an effort based circle of life, which that's what it is. And I compared football players to ants, like in your backyard, of where the ants all work together to get a job done for the colony. How they work hard, they work together. Football players, American gridiron football. Hell, I played it. My poster's right over there. But anyway, they all work together in a severe militaristic type style of situation. And where I would have a teammate, just a hypothetical, such as Brendan Sorsby, I would never trust that person. Art Schleister had gambling debts. He got kicked out of the NFL. Pete Rose had gambling debts. Got kicked out of Major League Baseball.
Banned.
And he wasn't even playing at that time. He was coaching. And the argument can be, oh, well, Brendan Sorsby wasn't doing it when he was playing. That doesn't make it better. In fact, it makes it possibly worse because so you're smart enough not to do it when the responsibility is called upon you, but you're gonna do it on your day off? Okay, so that doesn't strike me as a wise decision there.
No, so whoever takes a flyer on him is going to be risking something.
And the only reason he got away with it is because, weren't the judges all from Texas Tech? Didn't they all have some kind of Texas Tech connection?
A couple of the legal Eagles, and all his trials and stuff were in Texas. So
if he did that in Indiana, he wouldn't.
Probably not.
Probably not.
And because the Bills billionaires down in Texas, those oil barons, in a way we go are sticking up for them. I kind of like this backdrop. We got that that Sox game going on in the background.
Yeah, and I hope they win.
But we're gonna go with the Cubbies. And that's what we're gearing up for. The Cubbies won today big. We turned the game off because they were winning. Did you get a final on that?
It was 11-2, I think.
11-2 after we.
I think I got to double check it, but they won big time.
But anyway, they won their first game on this homestand. But I want to make reference to prior to the homestand that the worries were still, and if you looked at our past shows, I said the Cubs on that road trip had to go 7-2 or 8-1.
And did they?
No. No. They played the Colorado Rockies 6 times, and they played the San Francisco Giants 3 times. A 9-game road trip. Those 2 teams that I just mentioned are the 2 lowest record-wise in the National League. The Colorado Rockies starting pitchers were over 11. Lorenzen, the Cubs faced him twice. He had get yourself in there. He had an ERA of over 8. Cubs faced him twice. If you watch the games, the game that they won in the last inning where the pitcher threw the ball in center field.
Yeah, it was a home run.
And
I do like this setup. Actually.
They should have lost that game. But anyway, during those 9 games, the Cubs finished 5-4. Not 7-2, not 8-1. So during those 9 games, when we broadcasted before, the Cubs picked up 1 game. in the win column
Okay.
during that time.
But really, and as
Now they won today, so now they're 4 games over 500.
and also side note, and we've been giving Pete Crow Armstrong very little credit. He's hitting. Is he not hitting 280 right now? He hit for the cycle. He's the first guy to hit for the cycle this season.
The reverse cycle.
Well, no, I know. I mean, he did. He played very, very well.
Yes, he has.
He's playing very, very well. Good for him. I hope he continues. However, it's taken him 4 years to learn how to properly hit,
And
because we have a coaching staff that really didn't care about that.
and he's really been good against pitchers that got an 11 ERA.
Which Lorenzen was one of them.
Because Armstrong has really been productive. They say the whole month of June, and it has, but really these last 9 games. When they say the whole month of June, it's only the 18th of June. 19th of June right now. And the Cubs played a game today, so they've played 9 games before that. So really, his transformation has only really come about like June 3rd, June 4th, June 5th. That's when they started playing the Rockies
and the
Giants.
And they beat up on a struggling Blue Jays team.
So and that guy today, that Glass or whatever his name was, he walked 5 guys in the first inning.
Was it Glasgow?
I
think he's a Dodger now.
He's a Dodger. It's the other
a
guy.
Dodger now.
Begins with a G. Another guy begins with a G. But he walked 5 guys in the first inning. Now, they play Toronto, and then I think they play San Diego, then the Mets, then the Brewers.
Sounds about right.
Something in that, and I don't think they're all at home or all on the road. But that's a hell of a lot tougher than Colorado and San Francisco.
You should still beat up on the Mets.
Okay.
The Padres you can take a couple games from. But the reality of it is, and I've been saying it a lot, because and all this season, and you have Bregman's stats compared to Matt Shaw's right now.
Yeah, we're going to compare that.
No, do that right now.
Okay.
Because I want to bring this up.
Okay, because this
leads into what I want to say.
Okay, because everybody, I was like, and I'm watching the games, and Shaw's getting up there, and he's knocking the ball around, he's doing this, he's doing that. So on a lark, we compared, and you could kind of prorate this on your own. Bregman has played 74 games now, and he's getting $37.5 million. Let me repeat that: $37.5 million.
That's a lot of money.
Okay,
just to play baseball.
Okay, and right now he's hitting .250. He's got 6 home runs. He has 1 triple. He has 3 doubles. He has 6 home runs and 23 RBIs.
And that's all Alex Bregman's statistics.
That's all Alex Bregman.
Okay.
For $37.5 million.
And repeat the home runs and the RBIs again.
Bregman's got 6 home runs and 23 RBIs.
Okay, now compare that to Matt Shaw.
Matt Shaw's only played 48 games. Now, first of all, Matt Shaw's only making $800,000. Let me repeat that. $800,000 less. He's not even making $1 million. And Bregman's making $37.5 million. And currently, after just playing 48 games, and I don't think we should have looked up how many innings, because of those 48 games, I don't think he's played 48 full games. I think he's coming in
pinch
hit, defensive things.
And they've probably taken him out a lot.
Yeah,
offensive.
Bregman's 74 games as he's playing all 9 innings. But anyway,
well, that's what they paid him for, right?
That's where, well, you would think. Matt Shaw has hit 3 home runs as opposed to Bregman's 6, and he's played 28 less games. Matt Shaw has 17 RBIs. Bregman's got 23, a difference of 7 RBIs. Matt Shaw has 1 more triple. Matt Shaw has 1 more double. And Matt Shaw is batting .266. So one could make the argument that if Matt Shaw played every day, or at least 74 games, his offensive production
would be almost the exact same.
Would be better.
Because
then, Bregman, you have the floor.
Okay, thank you. Because you brought this up. You mentioned this last season Like, and even before that one, really, because you made the comment of when they had Bellinger and they gave him away. So they have Bellinger and they gave him away. It was basically the same team. When we went to
Bellinger for Tucker.
It was, yeah, that's what it was. Because I remember you and I went to a college visit in Columbia, and then you were having a conversation with that other guy, the other kid's father, and then you and him were saying, you said, I remember the conversation, you said, Bellinger for Tucker, it's the same team. Other than that, now it's Bellinger for Tucker, now it's Tucker for
Bregman.
For Bregman. Okay, and I've said this multiple times, and before I go into my main topic here, you're right. You really are right. Of where it is the same team. That's all that they are. Hell, last season they were the 6th place final wild card team. Right now, that's what they are. However, that's all well and good.
But if San Diego wins,
they're shit out of luck.
They're no longer in a wild card spot tonight.
Okay, but there's a hell of a lot more baseball left.
Yes.
And however, even though, yes, there's a lot more baseball left, with all the injuries, with all the inconsistencies, hell, they brought up some new guy today to play center field, and they flat out said all he's going to do is run around. So, why?
He's going to pitch, run, and they sent Moises Ballester, Mo back down.
Who was the only true DH that they had.
And a left-handed bat.
And they sent him away. Doesn't make sense to me. Okay, but anyway, the mission objective is to win the division title, and they're not going to win it this year because Milwaukee has that division lead. They're running away with it.
That's it. They got 8 games. They're 8 up on the Cubs right now.
And St. Louis, I saw them play the last couple of games. They're looking pretty good right now.
Don't say that.
St. Louis, no, they are. They're looking pretty darn good right now. And you know what? And if the Pirates had any hitting, and I give Pittsburgh teams nothing but crap, but if the Pirates have any hitting, they're gonna do a lot of damage. Right now, the Chicago Cubs are almost everyone is either 30 or just slightly under that. A lot of the prospects have not been very good. We've had more injuries than was ever expected to have. It's just this has been even though they are 6 games above 500,
4,
even better.
No, less.
No, I say that sarcastically.
Oh, okay.
Because they can easily lose this ground that they have.
Oh, don't think
they can easily lose this ground that they have. And if there's no baseball season next year.
Don't think for 1 minute. Okay, the Cubs scored 11 runs today, and then they scored how many? They scored a lot of runs the other night. 8 against Colorado, and they won 8-6 or 8-5.
And they were winning that game like 8-0. And then
so they scored 19 runs in 2 games.
But they almost lost that Rockies game.
For a while, it got a little scary.
I was watching that full game.
It got a little scary. Okay, and I personally don't think the Cubs are going to start racking up. Scoring 19 runs every 2 days. Okay, there's going to be, Armstrong is on a roll. Okay, and what I think is going to happen is with him, for a while there, he's
solidified his spot in the All-Star game. He's going to be the All-Star.
And then, he is. But then we had some people, or not some. We had some announcers say. And they were like aghast at this, that Pete Crow Armstrong was the 14th.
Okay.
He was ranked in the voting in outfielders.
Yeah.
He was in 14th place.
Well, can you for this season?
For this current in the All-Star.
How can you be surprised? Let me say this, and I say this to people. Okay, he started off horrifically, and he was not a good defensive center fielder to begin the season.
Did you see the botched play he made today a little bit? He tried to make another great catch, and
you know what?
He had no business diving for that.
And you know what? He does that. He's done that so often now. And he's played 4 seasons in the MLB now. It's at the point where he's done that so often, it makes me wonder. He's either out of position half of the time, or he genuinely thinks he can make every single play.
More sizzle than steak.
Which makes me go into the fact of where, yeah, sure, he won a Golden Glove, but you've disproven what is required to win the said Golden Glove of any position in baseball. We've yet to do that episode. But anyway, I don't want to hear, oh, yeah, he won a Golden Glove. If he was that good, he shouldn't be making these boneheaded plays in center field.
I think he started looking at where he was and said, you know what? And now he turned it up. He had 8 home runs in the month of June.
I still don't like him. I still think he cares more about himself than he cares about the team.
He's played now 4 years. When you hit a ball over the fence, act like you've done it before.
Because you have.
Just run the bases.
Yeah, because you have.
This and this.
You have done nothing. No. Here's the other thing that's grinding my gears. This team has really failed. They've failed to win the division. Failed to Failed to beat Milwaukee, who kicked your team in the playoffs last year. Remember that? Remember that.
If San Diego wins tonight against Texas, the Cubs are the first team out of the playoffs. So they really have not accomplished anything.
No, they haven't.
Okay, but they are, it's been a while since they've been 4, 5, 6 games over 500. They're 4 over 500.
If they didn't start off the season having
20 out of 23.
Okay, but they tried making that out like it was 1935. 1935 Chicago Cubs won 20 in a row. I know because Phil Cavarretta, who went to Lane Tech High School, Phil Cavarretta was a good friend of my great-grandfather, was on that team.
Even if the Cubs won 11 out of those 23. Which would have been over 500 ball, that would have been a difference of 8 games. The Cubs would be 4 games under 500 right now.
They would be a last place team.
Yeah, in the division, they would be a last.
They would be a last place.
They would be a last place team in the division.
And really, all they have right now in this season is the way how they started out. That's it. That's all they have right now.
And guys that are watching out there, we're Cub fans. Okay,
we watch all these games.
We watch every game, every inning. We even listen to Monotone, the manager, the $8 million manager, sit there and go, we're gonna let them be. But
that's what he says in every press conference.
And now 40. And I haven't done the math because, before the season the Cubs got, we're a 90-win team. In order to win 90, they got to win 50 more games.
That's really tough to do when all of your pitchers keep getting hurt.
And they're 40 and 36. I'll do some quick math here. 76, 100 there's 162 games, right?
There's 162 games in the baseball season.
And 76. So real quick, 86 games left. And the Cubs got to win 50 of those. So basically, the Cubs got to go 86. They got to go 50 and 36. In order to get to 9, they got to play 14 games. From this point on, 14 more games over 500.
That's incredibly tough to do.
So they got to end up 18 games over 500.
I don't think they can do that.
They can't do that.
This Cub team, I don't think they can do that.
Because they're, but then, like somebody smart said the other day, because it was like with the White Sox, okay? Real quick, the Sox had an 11-game stretch where they played the Phillies, the Braves, the Dodgers, and the Yankees.
Okay.
Now, nobody is going to say that the Rockies and the Giants
are the Phillies or the Yankees
are a better grouping of teams than what I just mentioned.
No.
The Sox played them in an 11-game deal, and they finished 6-5. And Ozzie Guillen said on a post-game, things don't really happen until you start playing within your division. Because like tonight, the Sox got waxed 2 out of 3 by the Yankees. Okay? But tonight they're playing Detroit. And then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and I was going to go to the game Wednesday, but I got a visit from cable company coming. But then they played the Cleveland Indians on Wednesday, and Ozzie said that if you're within a few games, and the Sox are winning their division, if you're within your division by a few games, playing within your division is very, very important.
Well, of course it is, but yes, it is. And the other note with that, the National League Central is the toughest division right now because I think everyone except the Pirates is over 500.
I didn't look.
Or most
Reds could be.
Most of the teams are 500 and above.
They're within a series of being 500.
Okay.
So if the Pirates sweep somebody, they go over 500.
So there's going to be, it's a safe bet. It's a safe bet by the end of the year. Three of the playoff teams are going to be from National League Central. That's a safe assumption.
It could be a safe assumption.
Because that's happened before.
It has.
It's happened before.
But I don't know if the Cubs and the Cardinals are better than some Cub and Cardinal teams in the past.
No, they're not.
So maybe not. The Brewers are in. The Dodgers are in.
Yes.
The Braves are in.
The Phillies might be in when it's all said and done.
You know who's it? Here's a little trivia, a little quiz question for you out there, people. Right now, you know who's got a wild card bid if the season ended today and his playoffs started today?
I don't know.
The Washington
Nationals
are holding a wild. They're holding a wild card spot, and the Cubs may not after tonight.
And I don't even know anyone who's on the current Washington Nationals.
No, Jason Wirt's not there, and
Soto's not there. Zimmerman's not there.
And the guy from the Phillies.
Worth. No, not Worth. Harper.
Those guys are gone. And
Adam Dunn is not there.
And they're holding on to a playoff spot. So, the Cubs are, 40-36. They're better than what they have been. If that guy who made the wonderful comment a couple of weeks ago, he commented, well, the Cubs are 2. Now they're 4 games.
Yeah, they are.
So Mr. Commenter, you're correct. You're one up on us right now.
Okay, but here's the reality. I don't care. See, here's the thing. Let me clear some air. I expect them to be over a few games over 500, but the mission is not supposed to be just over 500. The mission is to be a highly intense, competitive playoff baseball team, which is something that they're really not.
Well, right now, and from this going forward,
the mission is to win the division, win a pennant, and hopefully win a World Series. But I don't know if this team can do that. That
train has left the station for the remainder of this year, and we both know that. Right now, it's can they be one of the 6?
Because that's not justifiable to me. Because no, it's not. How is it? Because they made no move to get a pitcher. They've made no move to get. You know what? If they didn't have Carson Kelly last season,
he had a grand slam today.
Yeah, he did. He's a good player. If they didn't have Carson Kelly at all last year, I don't think they would have been a playoff team. I'm not just saying that for shock value. It's truly because Miguel Amaya got hurt and they never had a backup catcher ready. So they had Carson Kelly, who they lucked into because he was never a star player and nobody wanted him. He was like the Scott Hatteberg for the Chicago Cubs.
Yeah.
That's basically what he was. Even though Hatteberg was a catcher, ironically enough. But if they didn't have Carson Kelly last year, I don't think they would have been a playoff team. They broke all the team records for hitting the home run. They weren't even a first place team.
They got.
They have virtually the same team now, but they're all older and they're all getting injured.
Well, I'm sure out in Wrigleyville on a Friday night now after a Cub day game,
a huge victory, which I'll give credit.
And they're they're 4 games, and then there's still 3 weeks before the All-Star break, and then we'll see. It's like 3 weeks to the All-Star break, and then I guess it's 2.5 weeks till the trade deadline, July 31st trade deadline.
Because you'll really know. Because last season they teased us. They basically slapped us in the face last year. The trade deadline. They didn't do anything. Oh,
And
yeah.
nobody knows. Nobody still. They interviewed Steele the other day in the clubhouse. What's going on? Well, and he spoke. Well, I'm still doing this. I'm still doing that with my rehab.
Okay.
Just nobody knows.
Okay. Well, here they are knocking on a door of a playoff spot, possibly. And you said what? How many weeks left to the trade deadline?
Well, I think the trade deadline is July 31st.
Okay, so it's what?
And today's the
Today's the
6 weeks.
So basically a time frame of a month.
And nobody knows what Steele's going to do. The other Boyd is he due for a start against?
Because Ben Brown went today.
Ben Brown went today, and Ben Brown's looking pretty good.
Yeah,
They're talking about him as an all-star. He's only pitched 9. He's only started 9 games.
Okay, but Ben Brown was a failed starter. Ben Brown had to learn how to pitch again.
Yes.
See, it's like, oh yeah, it's all well and good. Well, Justin Steele's been hurt twice,
And then
and we don't know when Steele's coming back.
And here's a thing about Ben Brown. Again, and I've always said one of my greatest lines is, statistics are for losers to a point. They invented this Ben Brown stat. Minimum of 60 innings. His ERA versus the opponent's slug. Okay?
Okay.
All right. He's second, meaning his ERA is the lowest against the slug of 60 innings, and he's 2, and he's wedged in between Mizorowski
Yeah.
and Ohtani.
And he's none of those people.
And the Cubs found a way
I'll even go a step further.
to invent something
I'll go a step further. Pete Crow Armstrong is currently leading baseball in WAR.
in WAR.
And
I read that.
Is he any better than Kyle Schwarber or Bryce Harper or Shohei Ohtani or Aaron Judge? No, he's not. No, he is not.
Ask yourself this question. Of those names he just mentioned, if you were starting a ball club,
Right now, in one...
would
yeah.
Pete Crow Armstrong be your number 1 draft pick over the names Hall of Fame names that you just mentioned? And the answer to a logical person would be, hell no. Freddie Freeman? Ohtani?
Mortaka Murakami.
Guys don't even know who
Hell,
that is.
Sam Antonacci. Hell, I'll throw his name in that hat.
Harper, Soto, Bobby Witt Jr. I read that. I almost fell off my chair when I saw that. Again, to me, WAR means shit.
Okay, but see, that makes me wonder, because they clearly didn't watch the games, because he struggled immensely mentally, he struggled defensively, he was a god-awful hitter.
Because with the WAR, how do they figure WAR?
They don't know. Babe Ruth has the WAR statistic. They never had it when he played. Yeah. You pulled a number out of your ass and you threw it to somebody decades previously. Come on, get out of here.
Because if there's a left-handed pitcher up, and do I want Pete Crow Armstrong? If he's number 1 in WAR, meaning he's the top of the line,
he's great at everything that he ever does.
Do you want him up against a left-handed pitcher, a quality left-handed pitcher, closer, with 2 outs in the 9th inning? And to me, the answer is no.
And here's another thing of it is, too, I saw some YouTube comments today of where people were saying, oh, Armstrong is on pace to have another 30-30 season. 30-30 is not 40-40. No, it's not. If you play 162 games and you get 30 home runs, that's kind of pedestrian. Now, if you had 30 home runs for 10 years in a row,
well,
maybe we have something there.
He had 8 home runs, and he's got 8 home runs in the month of June. Let's see how that all shakes out. But that's crazy talk to think that Schwarber and Harper and Judge and Ohtani and Freeman and
they don't have the WAR statistics.
Acuna and Bobby Witt Jr. and
Christian Yelich. Christian
Yelich, Colson Montgomery for the White Sox. Did you know Colson Montgomery is the fastest I read this yesterday. He's the fastest to 40 home runs in games played, I think, in the history of Major League Baseball.
I have a tough time believing that.
He said because he didn't play the whole last year. Colson Montgomery started at the All-Star break last year. He's from the All-Star break to now. He's played 140 games.
Yeah, sounds about right.
He's hit 40 home runs quicker than anybody.
I have a very tough time believing that.
That was last night on the Sox game. Quicker than Harper. Now, we think of 140 games because it's one season. His rolled over into 2 seasons, but he's played 140 games. He only played 140 games. He's hit 40 home runs. So do some research out there, viewing audience.
But you know what? But you know, it's mind-boggling to me because you know, Cub fans. And I'm still talking about Armstrong here because you know you hate Ian Happ. Hate's a strong word.
Ian Happ still leads the team in home run.
Ian Happ is not even your favorite. Ian Happ's not your favorite. He's not your favorite Cub.
He's not my no.
That's an understatement. There's a lot of people who I know who don't like Ian Happ. They call him a speed bump. They say he's Ian Speed Bump Happ, or easy out or whatever. But you know what? Who's a better outfielder, Ian Happ or Armstrong? Who doesn't? Who do you watch the team and you know going in? Hey, who's not going to hurt you in the outfield?
Ian Happ makes things look easy in left field.
Yeah, he does.
Boring.
Yeah, he does.
He's in the right spot. He only moves 2, 3, 4. Now, if he's got to run a long way, chances are it's over his head. But he doesn't do that very often because he's in the right spot. You know, like you said, I think sometimes Armstrong just puts himself out there.
And no one has the cojones to say it because he dyes his hair blue and he does this, whatever the hell that is.
But he's hitting. Let's see if it continues. And you know, if he hits 280, that's 50 points better than last year. But is he going to hit? You know, I still say he could go on one of these Schneids.
Oh, he can.
Two for 42.
Because he's already proven it. He's so mentally A woman at a White Sox game calls him PC AAA, and then he forgets how to play baseball. Really?
Yeah.
Then why are you in the MLB?
So.
No, really. Why are you in the MLB then?
So, but the Cubs are where they're at. They're 40 and 36.
You really think you're that good?
Okay. Couple other things that we want to jump on here real quick before we go.
Chicago Bulls have a head coach. Do you know who?
Oh, you're gonna?
No, I mean no, really, because I want to talk about it in the next episode. I've already expressed this to you.
Viewing audience, if you know who it is, comment to us. Okay, and I'm sure you're gonna look it up. Okay, but should we give the name or no? Just let it.
I don't know. Let's wait for it.
Okay. The Bulls have a coach.
Finally.
Because I think the NBA draft is in 2 weeks or something.
You know what? This is why you don't win games. How do you wait a week, 2 weeks before the NBA draft? Where you have 4 draft picks? They have 3 or 4 draft picks?
They have 2 in the first round, I think, and 1 in the second. There's only 2 rounds.
There's only 2 rounds.
I think they got 3 at the most.
So it's a first come, first served situation, and you're terrible. You are god awful. The Chicago Bulls suck.
And here's the other thing I heard.
They historically suck.
Somebody said, now this is crazy talk, because I think he wants $60 million. Somebody said to find a way to pay a recent former Chicago Bull.
Oh no.
Who went to the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Oh no! What are you thinking of? There's only 2 of them.
Who went to the University of Illinois? I'll even throw that in there, and try to get him back.
That one
for $60 million.
Is that DeSumo?
Yes.
You want to give Io DeSumo? Didn't he lose to Krutwig?
Okay. No, I'm saying.
No. I'm just saying because I live in Illinois. No, let me go a step forward with this. Do any of you remember who Krutwig was? The Loyola basketball team that beat the heavily favored Fighting Illini basketball team?
With Kofi Coburn.
Kofi Coburn, Ayo Dosunmu, and Brad Underwood, and also Brad Underwear here.
And what were they making NIL money? Krutwig wasn't making money.
Krutwig, in that entire game, all he did was old man YMCA layups. He ran.
George Mikan drills.
That's all that he did. That's all that he did. And they couldn't beat him. He was the only player that they had. And he had to go play in Turkey somewhere overseas.
I believe that was a 1 versus 9 game. I believe Loyola was a 9 seed and Illinois was a 1 or a 2. And you know what? That's some of the easiest money I ever made in my life because Loyola was getting points.
And people honestly thought Loyola was going to lose. That's funny to me.
But they're talking about, and you know what? But back to get asses in the seats is this new coach, which we know his name, and
it's a difficult name to pronounce. In all honesty,
and Josh Giddey and who else are they going to put asses in the seats?
Nobody likes Josh Giddey.
You know,
if Giddey's only claim to fame is that he made a half-court shot he had no business ever making. That's it. That's literally it.
One other sidebar NBA thing here,
okay.
And I got to find out. And this one really wanted to make my head explode. Rick Brunson, who happens to be. Is it Jalen Brunson?
It's Jalen Brunson's father.
Jalen Brunson's father. Okay. Rick Brunson, apparently, I got to do some research on this. He's an assistant coach now with the Knicks. So he's going to get an NBA ring. And he's an assistant. He deserves one. But prior to this series, it was mentioned
he had 5 other
that he's got 5 other NBA rings. 5 and 1 is 6. He has as many as Michael Jordan.
He has more than LeBron James.
So I got to do some research on this and find out, was he just a guy on the end of the bench?
He would have to be.
He'd have to be.
He'd have to be. I mean, he was this season. Literally.
Because I have to see what he... But to think that Rick Brunson has as many rings as the greatest basketball player that ever lived and is tied with him and has more.
Michael.
Yeah.
Right there.
And he has more than guys that are playing. That's crazy talk.
That's insane. That's awesome. Good for him.
Good for him.
Good for him, really.
And the Knicks did win a game. Did win one in 57 years. Another thing that's going on in the country.
Oh yeah, the FIFA World Cup. No one cares about it. Well, that's not an accurate comment. We don't really care much about the FIFA World Cup. We want.
If the United States would happen to win, it would be an accomplishment.
And it would be the first page situation on this
and
platform.
It should.
And it would be. And it should be.
Okay.
However, the USA, we have struggled in soccer for so long.
Men's soccer.
Okay. I mean, I think that's what they knew what we were talking about.
Because the women win.
Yeah, the women always win, but when they won, they didn't get much press coverage over it.
Okay. And
which they deserved it.
And things that kind of boggle the mind here is, and I'm going back to this, United States has 360 million people, and you only need 11 players. Okay, now they beat Paraguay.
Okay, that's a country of 8 million people.
Okay.
Cook County, Illinois has got 10 million people.
Cook County, Illinois, the county in which Chicago resides,
10 million.
Has more people than the whole damn country of Paraguay.
I think Paraguay, I think that's the entire population of New York City.
Okay.
Just to throw that out.
And then they played Australia.
28 million people.
And there's 28 million people in Australia.
So,
which would then be comparable to, I don't know.
I don't know.
I'll have to see what state might have 28 million. But we have 360 million, and we can't get 11 guys to win.
To win the gold medal.
Now, I hear this crap all the time too, and I'm going to get a little cynical here about everybody kicks the ball. You know how many people play soccer and play soccer and play soccer and play. We did some things. There's 250 million people worldwide.
Okay.
Under this statistic. Okay.
Who plays soccer?
Worldwide. But then I said I don't give a shit about worldwide. I want to know about the United States of America. Okay. According to the stats that we looked up today, 24.9 million people play soccer, participate in soccer in the United States of America. Now, you might sit there and go,
that's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people. Okay.
What's the stat in golf? Because I know you got that one.
There are more people who participate in golf.
In America.
40 million people, as of 2025, participate. Because the reason I was thinking of that is I'm watching the U.S. Open today, and like you say, it's, we can get an argument of,
Golf is Uno.
Okay. It's a skill, okay?
It's a game, it's not
It's a game, it's a skill. But you sit there, and you go, and we're sitting there going, Jesus Christ, we're led to believe. And I've been told, I was a PE teacher forever, and these soccer nuts say, you know how many soccer is the biggest game worldwide in the United States?
No one cares.
It's taking a backseat to golf.
No. Here in America, here in the States, the two big stories in FIFA, World Cup story right now. The people in Boston can't get a beer, and the people who want to go can't even go because the tickets are like $15,000.
If you look, and this nonsense about the stadiums are full, they're not full. The people who are flying from other countries are coming to the States, who, by the way, are saying the United States is the greatest place on earth, and it is. But those are the people. The people who are living in the United States of America are not going to these games.
Well, I know why, because they're too busy watching the Cubs play the Blue Jays. They're too busy. There
are two sites in Texas, the Jerry Dome
and one in Houston, Texas.
Now, if you're sitting telling me that you're one of these oil barons and going hee haw, what can I do tonight? Instead of going to the Houston Astros game and enjoying America's pastime, are you going to pay $1,500 to watch two countries that you don't even know who the hell's playing in a half-packed stadium, because that's what it is? And we're led to believe, I'm led to believe, because in this geographical area that I live, that soccer is such the greatest thing. No, soccer blows.
The MLS can't be found on any station ever.
Okay.
I can't find it.
Here's the deal. Who's the old man the other day? Messi? He scored 3 goals, and he's older than dirt.
Yeah.
So what about all these great up-and-coming youngsters? If a 45-year-old guy can score 3 goals,
then the guys he's playing against are not very good. They must not be very good.
They can't be.
But soccer, I've played soccer before with friends. If you're not in shape, it's painful because you got to run so much distance. No way. But this goes to Messi scoring all these goals. The fact that he can still run that far distance, it's two things, and two things can both be true at the same time. The guys he's playing against are not very good, and maybe he's pretty decent.
Yes, but then I'm going to throw a curveball in there too, because there's a lot of bad soccer.
There is.
Okay, and
there's more bad soccer than there is any other sport.
Because if you're sitting if you're sitting and you're winning 7-0, and that team who wins 7-0, that goalie's standing there, that defense is standing there, and they're not moving.
The FIFA World Cup, they have ties. They don't even allow overtime.
So, and in the United States it's 2-0, but I know as far as competition,
I don't know one single player.
I don't know how good Paraguay and Australia are in soccer.
No, because no one cares.
Okay, and really nobody,
No one really cares.
No.
Here in the States, we don't care about soccer. Sorry, we really don't.
And you're going to get and as long as the United States advances and people they're going to wrap themselves in the red, white, and blue and they're going to go to some bar and go yay. I'm not.
But when
if the Sox are playing Detroit on my widescreen,
if the American team wins 10 years down the road, no one's going to know who was on that team. 1980 U.S. men's hockey team. You know who Jim Craig is. You know who Mike Eruzione is. You know who Jack O'Callahan is. You know Neil Broughton. I can name you the whole team.
And you weren't even born.
I just named you like.
And you were not even born.
I just named you like 5 of the starters on that team.
And nobody. We talked today.
And I didn't even look that up.
Could we name one soccer player on the United States?
The guy from the chicken wing commercials.
Is he really the goalie?
I don't know.
Or is he too old, or are they just using him?
I don't know.
Yeah, he catches the... Is that... And they go, are you so-and-so? And he goes, well, that's me.
No, I'm talking about the one from, not Slim Chickens.
I'm thinking of that guy.
No, I'm thinking about, oh, God, Raising Cane's. Oh, you didn't see the commercial?
Maybe not.
No, it's a guy.
Is that the guy who's kicking... Maybe it's Raising Cane's. They kick the ball and he catches it in the backyard.
No.
And they go, are you so-and-so? And he goes, well, that's me.
No.
Okay, then
I'm thinking of a different commercial.
Then obviously there's 2 commercials. And
And Raising Cane's sucks, by the way. The best thing at Raising Cane's is the bread.
The Texas toast.
It's the bread.
But...
You go to a chicken place and the best thing is bread, that's not good.
And then the other thing that you got to scroll, you go first to Fox if you got Fox, and then after that you got to like scroll to find out where the games are at. But I think we've given more time to soccer than we think we needed to. But the point being on this show was the Cubbies. Cubbies are 40-36.
Okay, but can they keep it up? I don't know. See, that's the thing of it is, I don't have full faith of them.
Well, when they got off to a good start, when a starting pitcher walks 5 guys in the first inning, chances are, you better jump on shit like that. If you don't score, obviously if you walk 5 guys in one inning, you're gonna score. Because you walk a guy in.
Well, they walked when Carson Kelly had the bases loaded. They walked him in too.
Yeah, and then 5 walks in the first inning and a grand slam. Chances are you're going to win a game.
Yeah, they gave it to you.
You should win that game.
You didn't really compete for this victory.
Yeah, the game was over in the second inning.
Yeah, you won it.
So what happens when it comes to nut cutting time and you got a lefty out there and you got Pete Crow Armstrong?
When you have no real depth. That's what they don't have. 2016, they won 103 games. If you win 103 games, you gotta be pretty damn good.
That's a good question. That just, and we'll leave you with this. Who
what?
Ramirez? And this new guy? And Amaya?
Well, Amaya's been here for a while.
Right, but...
So that doesn't really...
But I'm saying on the bench, because if Kelly's catching Amaya... Are these the 5 guys? Conforto, Shaw, Ramirez?
Moises Ballesteros, if he's there.
He's gone. They sent him down.
Okay,
so... that's where this Ben character, the runner, and Amaya, is that their only...
Did you say Conforto?
I got Conforto, Shaw, Ramirez, Ben, and Amaya. Is that...
That sounds right.
Is that their...
That's a terrible bench. That's worse than the bullpen.
Because what was the bench when the Cubs won the World Series?
Scherzer, La Stella, Coughlin.
When they won the World Series?
Well, yeah, when they won the World Series, yes. David Ross.
Miggy.
Miguel Montero.
Was Zobrist?
Ben Zobrist
Was a...
Well, he was a glorified utility player, but yeah.
But sooner... But
and Zobrist was the MVP.
Right. But I'm saying is because the starting 9 were the starting 9, and Zobrist was not in the starting 9. Starting 8.
And but so funny of that is, Ben Zobrist was basically a bench player, and he was a World Series MVP.
Yes.
They don't have anyone.
Was Jorge Soler on that team?
He was. He was on that team.
So, well, because they expanded for the World Series, but now,
Kyle Schwarber was on that team too.
did he start and left?
I mean, the first half he was like he came up as a catcher, so he was he was a backup catcher, and then he was he started in the left field, but he missed most of the season. He had to come back. So you could throw Schwarber in there for a bench player.
Because if you look at these five, is Conforto start and go? Shaw's playing the outfield now, and Suzuki's DHing, and I think that's what they're going to be doing because Ballesteros is gone. But so Conforto can't break that starting outfield.
People forget Javier Baez was basically a backup on that team in a way because it was supposed to be. Because Bryant played third, Russell played short. Zobrist played a lot of second base, and then it was Rizzo.
Mm-hmm.
So you can mention Baez as
and then you had Hayward,
Hayward and right, Fowler
in center,
field.
and
I think it was LaStella played a lot of left field.
Or
I may be wrong with that.
Did Bryant play some left?
He did play some left
Then
field.
who played third? Zobrist would play third, and Baez would go to second.
Yeah.
So you had an infield with Zobrist, Russell,
and they only used the same 9 lineup. They only used the same lineup 9 times.
See, and
the whole season.
And and I was critical of Joe Madden with that playing Little League. Everybody plays, but you know what? And I think that's going to be the downfall of the Cubs
for this Cubs team.
Because Counsell is just. He's living and dying with Swanson at shortstop, and he can't hit shit.
No, he really can't.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, he's had some moments, but I think his career is over.
Bregman, we already proved Bregman.
You called out one when they got Bregman. Let me say it. When they got Bregman, I was all over it because I'm like, oh, okay, he's a really good overall player. But the best seasons were when you knew Bregman was cheating.
You could have got 2 starters for $37.5 million.
And you chose not to, and you could have done that last year as well, and you chose not to.
Yeah. But they're 40 and 36. But when we shut this off,
right now there's a lot more baseball left.
There's a lot more baseball.
I understand that. I'm more than aware, but
here's another one. What's this crap? Wait a minute. Did you ever hear? I played ball. I'm still playing ball in the Old Man League.
How old are you?
I'm going to be 66. Okay. Now, if you watched the game with Edward Cabrera the other night, he was awful. Awful.
He was god-awful.
And then they bring the training thing out there, and they take him out of the game, and they take him out of the game for a cramp in his pitching hand.
Oh, you know who else was on that World Series team? Who was a bench player? Alberto Almora.
Alberto Almora.
And he was a good player.
But he's not. But Cabrera's not going to miss a start. And I'm sitting there going, this was just a way to get his sorry ass off the mound. He was so awful. Wild pitches, and they said a cramp in your right. You know what? A cramp in your, and you take yourself out of a game.
Get some fruit. Eat some fruit. Drink some water.
Get yourself out of the inning. Get in the dugout and take care. If I ever had to take myself out for a cramp in my throwing arm in my hand. Now, granted, I never was a pitcher, but come on.
Yeah, and you know what?
Come up with a better excuse.
Because he's had a blister.
Yeah, blister.
That you can. Okay. So I have blisters. I just pop them and move on. But
he had a blister too. A cramp.
Okay, and they traded Owen Casey for you.
Yes.
Because you didn't have a third starter.
Yes.
Good idea.
You could have came and said, he's got a sprain in his wrist. So you could say something. Cramp.
Okay. So let me get this straight because
this is like the guy who took the pants off and threw his back out. What?
It was a pitcher who did that.
We're going to give you some of those injury deals.
Sammy Sosa sneezed and he threw out his back. That's still my favorite one.
Okay, yeah.
Or how about Jose Quintana, who was cleaning the dishes and he cut his finger?
Yeah.
That all.
But a crank. Go ahead.
No, but okay. So you had traded away Cam Smith for Kyle Tucker, and Kyle Tucker bailed on you. You traded for Nicholas Castellanos back in the day, and then you didn't resign him, and now you never really needed a third baseman. But you've tried to piecemeal it with both Shaw and Bregman, and really only Shaw is really the only one that you should be developing right now, and you're choosing not to. And you think they may trade him?
How about this? What if? Are you done?
No, continue.
What if the Cubs had? I'm just speaking out, spitballing. Okay, you don't have Cabrera.
No.
Big deal. But what if you had Casey and right?
Okay.
Suzuki DHing. And you had Shaw at third.
You'd be much better.
Would you be any worse off
No.
than where you're at now?
No.
No?
Because you need a DH and you need a real one, and you've chosen not to even address that position.
And
you've chosen.
And you're going to have
You've chosen
$300 million or $275 million that you don't have to pay out to Bregman in the next 5 years with that contract.
Okay, well, but you know what? They're having to do this because, they failed in developing talent. It was 11 first basemen after Rizzo. So
how many pitchers in that draft?
You looked them up. Only one of them was playing, and he's not even playing. He's hurt again. Twice.
And they drafted 13 pitchers out of 14 rounds.
And the only one is from Oklahoma, and he ain't playing.
The same school that our buddy from Oklahoma. I'm not trying to kick someone when they're down, but it's just the Chicago Cubs have not been very good at developing talent because they got Michael Busch from the trade with the Dodgers. You got Armstrong with a trade with the Mets. You got Carson Kelly. The Cubs is like his third or fourth. But was Michael Busch really the key in that trade, or was he?
That was all that they got with the Dodgers.
And who'd they give up?
No one knows. No. You traded Rizzo for Kevin Alcantara, and they don't even want him to play. Who else? They got Seiya Suzuki from the Carp in the Japanese league.
Yeah.
Like, they haven't really developed their own talent here.
I guess what we're proving is the Cubs are winning in spite of themselves.
Yeah, that's what they're doing, and that's not sustainable.
It's not. Well,
that's not sustainable. That's not a real, legitimate playoff powerhouse.
We're going to try to get you next week. I think late next week, maybe. We're going to have a kind of a little special, kind of a special remote. We want to do a remote from a special place.
Oh, are you actually serious about doing it?
We're not going to leak the cat out of the bag yet.
Okay.
And when that happens, you're going to see, and you're going to see what the hell's going on out there. But we've gone over an hour.
We didn't. This was not expected to go over an hour.
So, guys, watch. Somehow the traction is.
Please watch us. Hey, Chicago Sports. Find us on Facebook. You can find us on YouTube.
All right.
But anyway, we're gonna
sign off and watch the Southsiders.
So, see ya. Bye-bye.
Say bye.